and Stacy show.
I'm Andrea.
And I'm Stacy.
And we're just getting settled in with my shiny cheeks and all.
Well,
it's humid.
It is.
We've had lots of thunderstorms for the last couple of days, and really no complaints because that moisture was unexpected and the rain and everything, and it was much needed. So.
And that one last night lasted forever.
Yeah.
It really did, hours and hours.
We haven't been getting, normally like in Oklahoma or other places, when storm moves through, it's kind of like a line of thunderstorms. These have been turning into bubbles.
Yeah.
That don't just like move, they like just, slowly spin out.
Yeah, it's been fantastic.
It's weird. And this is not like our stormy season at all. We completely missed that in March. No, we got a lot of rain, but we didn't get storms.
It's true. There was lightning last night too.
Yeah. Lots of that.
When I got home.
Like rope lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Allison did a great slow-mo.
Hey, yeah. Did you ever post that?
I did, yeah, on Facebook. It's really cool. Slow-mo of lightning, rope lightning.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So this weekend was graduation for Turner, and the aforementioned rain came, and they were going to do it at the football field this year. They normally do it inside, but they decided to do the football field so more people could come. You have more space to spread out or whatever. So they switched it kind of last minute, hoping that the rain would clear off, and it didn't, to inside. And so every other row was blocked off, and you had 6 tickets were all that you were given, and they wanted you to put space, 6 chairs in between, but there wouldn't have been enough people there. There were 7 of us, and then Turner on the floor. They had their chairs spaced out, but it went really well, and they busted their butts getting that set up in like 2 hours, building a stage because the stage was already set up and it was soaked. And so they
had probably like resources out there already.
Yes.
That were.
Yes. So that all went really well. They got the class picture taken. Turner said he thought only 40 kids showed up out of like 163 for that.
Some of them, like you said, may not have known or got
the word. The school didn't sponsor it this year. They go we have a college in town, and they stand the entire class on the steps, and it's taken every year. And they didn't use that photographer this year, but he did it on his own, and the school didn't sponsor it. So the kids tried to get the word out, and so did the parents, but it was
nice of him to do that.
He didn't have
to. I hate it when people break tradition.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they didn't want him as like the official school photographer.
Yeah.
That was his signature photo all those years for those students. They should have maintained that.
And he gives it to you, post it. It goes in the yearbook. It goes in the, lots of things. And this year he ordered some, and they'll be $15, and I'll get one when they come in. But
$15 is so reasonable these days.
Yes, absolutely. It's like an 8x10 or something. So that was sad of all the years to kind of switch that kind of stuff up. I felt like they should have left tradition alone.
Yeah.
But what Turner's in it with who showed up, and that's going to be good enough. And graduation, lots of people didn't get to come because we didn't have the tickets for them.
Yeah.
But everybody that has been in his life consistently was able to be there.
That's
so
good.
It was great. We just went out to eat after. He didn't want to party or anything. So that took a load off of me, not because we would have had an outside party, and that would have been hard. Even if we did it on Saturday, it would have been bad. So it was a laid back graduation, but he's one of the few schools that got to have an actual walk across the stage graduation.
And we're already, and this is like mid-June.
Yes. So we waited a whole month from, the graduation date originally. But no complaints there. It all worked out. And
kudos to everybody that pulled it off and pulled it together.
Yes.
Good work.
Oh, man.
Good work. They will not be known as the class that did not get the graduation.
That's right.
So
that's right.
That will not go down in the history books.
And I think only 6 kids didn't walk, 6 or 7, and I think some of those kids graduated early, and they may or may not have walked anyway.
Yeah, usually there's a few that, there was some in my class that didn't.
I come back for that, but it was nice to have a finalization
It's so
and call
important.
that done.
So
yes,
important.
because we were in limbo, you know, for months with all of that, like everyone else in the nation. So it was really, really nice to check
And I
that
mean,
off
like,
as done.
you know, not having that mental picture in your head as you go through life would be hard. I feel like
really hard.
as everyone says, when did you graduate? And you're like, well, it was very ambiguous during that time.
Yes. You know, and we took his senior pictures last week. We didn't even do that. Didn't even cross my mind.
I think you did it at the right time.
I think so too.
When the dawn was breaking.
Yes.
You know, not when it was all so
and it
chaotic.
was the week of graduation, and then I'll still go ahead and make the announcements and send those out. And
absolutely.
So I'm pretty excited about.
Really got to be proud of that.
Yeah, I think it all went well.
It did.
However, I do have to tell my shoes.
I was gonna say.
So I decided I wanted an outfit for graduation.
You want to look special.
Yeah, you know, and dress specifically. However, I could have worn cutoffs and a tank top and been fine probably, but I've got a dress at Cato's, and I don't try clothes on and I don't buy clothes very often, which warrants Jeff having to take them back and just get my money back because I don't even take them back. So
just pop the bag on the counter. Here's your receipt. She hated it.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
You know.
So this time though, I needed the dress. So I got home and I tried it on, and the top is elastic, which can be sewn, but it was so big that there was no
real stretch. I mean, you would have had to
it just
made a new dress.
What I would have had to take up there would have created problems in the skirt.
Yeah.
So I went back the next day, which was Thursday. Graduation's on Friday. So, and that day the first day I had bought like 4 sets of bangle bracelets. They were on sale for $2 a set, and they're like $10 sets because I wanted like 3 bracelets out of that. And then I bought some earrings. I don't know. They look like wood. I don't know. To go with them. And so they were in a separate bag. Took the dress back. Asked them if I could try on the smaller size. You can't try it on because the dressing rooms are closed. While I'm standing there talking to her, she puts gloves on, takes my dress out of my bag, puts it in a trash bag like it's a biohazard, and then throws my bag away, ties the bag up, my dress is in the trash bag, and then puts the gloves in the trash. And I thought, oh Lord, I wonder what happens to all these clothes that they're letting people bring back. Like, are they throwing them away?
That no, they set them in back for like 36 hours or whatever the magic number is before they can put it back on the floor.
Okay.
Some of them have an area where they immediately take stuff and just hang it on a rack, and then they spray it.
Oh, okay. So whatever they did.
Whatever to make it seem like they're...
So I asked her, how hard would you try to stop me if I just put this on over my... I said, can I just put it on over my shirt? And she said no. And I said, how hard would you try to stop me if I did do that? And, you know, because time is of the essence here. And they close at 6 and I get off at 5. So there's that pressure going on in my head too. And she says, not very hard. And so I'm like, well, I won't do that to you. So I just grabbed the next size, and it is a tank top, and I don't want that. So I got this like rust colored crocheted thing to go over it. And then I ran to another store because I needed shoes because it's so long. I did need a platform or a heel, but I wanted a bootie, not a dress shoe, and especially with the rain. And so I ran to another store and got a cream colored top in case I liked it better, crochet thing, and they didn't have shoes. I ran to the store next door. They didn't have shoes, and then I ate with you, and it was nice to sit down. And then
but tell us about the shoes.
Yeah, so I go home that night, and I get the dress out. I try it on. It fits, so I'm happy about that.
The patterns and colors you said were pretty accurate.
Allison was shocked I bought it. So I got my bracelets out, and I got my earrings out, and one of the earrings was in 2 pieces. So Jeff had to super glue that together. When I took the back off the other one to take it out of the off the paper thing, it broke. So he had to super glue it. So I dropped the bangles on the ground to make sure.
Shout out to people who can effectively use super glue.
Because I wasn't
That's
touching
awesome.
it.
If I had to do it, your hair and your ear would have been permanently attached.
It would have been upside down.
Yeah.
Or he was like, it can only go one way. I'm like, not if I glue it.
Yeah.
So he got those fixed for me. So I'm getting everything together. And I'm like, Allison, she comes through, and I said, hey, tomorrow can you go to Shoe Depot and see if you can find me some booties that are like brown or cream. You know, she's good at picking out shoes. So she sends me pictures of 4 of them.
Stylish.
She is. And I pick one, and it was like they were on sale. Thank you, for $9.97, and I was like, win a chicken dinner. So I said, get those. And so she's like, she was coming to the shop, pick some fabric out for a project anyway. So she brought my shoes up, and she gives me a Dr. Pepper, and she goes, this is to lessen the blow. Oh, no. And I'm like, what happened? Because I'm thinking she had a wreck. I mean, I don't know what happened. And she's like, well, I paid $13 something for your shoes. And I was like, that's okay. I can swing by and get the difference, or we just won't worry about it. Either way. She goes, well, that's not what the problem is. And I'm like, that's not a problem? She said, read the end of the box. In the end of the box, it said L 7, right 7.5. So she paid extra.
Which worked out perfect for whoever ended up with the right 7 and left 7.5.
So she paid extra for 2 different size shoes. And unfortunately for me, my left foot is bigger. You need it's a special order.
Specialty. Mm-hmm.
So I put them on. They
can't just get that for cheap.
And I walked and asked some of the ladies at work if they could tell a difference, and they couldn't. So I wore super glued together earrings, a dress that fit, and 2 different size shoes to graduation Friday night.
That's all right. That was all right.
That cost more than they should have. So it all worked out in the end.
Yeah, it did. Those will turn into your favorite pair of shoes, and you won't even know why. Yeah. You know, I think the only type of shoes that it would probably even be noticeable for like a half size different or a full size difference would be a flip flop.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like that might, like if you held them side by side, you might be able to tell.
Yeah.
But I think a closed toe shoe.
When I got home, I put them sole to sole, and it was just a minute,
Isn't it like a half size is just a 1/4 inch?
I think so.
It's not even that much. Because a size is a half inch.
Yeah, then it would
something
be.
Something like that.
So it was fine. I was just glad they fit, because I wear 7.5, sometimes 8. So I was pushing it with the...
All you have to do is put 2 socks on one, one on the other.
Yeah, it's true.
Just shove something down there.
We've all been there.
Remember, I got to tell you, this is not what I was going to talk about. Hang on, I'll talk about what I was going to talk about real quick. I bought a canning book. I'm going to do canning. My counters are filling up with squash.
Man, they are.
And it won't be long with cucumbers, tomatoes, and everything and all that stuff. So I decided I'm going to actually try some stuff.
That looks like a legit canning book too. Like
yeah.
Simple, straightforward.
No fancy pictures or anything. Just like the information you're looking for.
Yes.
You know, because what would happen is, you know, I would Google it, but I would get to where I just need this page, you know, with just the information, and I'd be trying to look at my phone, and I was like, I think I'd rather just have it right there in front of me. But like sweet pickle relish, you know, vinegar, sugar. I mean,
yeah, just the straight
it's all
up.
good. It's all good. So I thought I'm really going to try some stuff, but
let me see.
Found that at Atwood's.
Oh, okay.
Like, I think it was only like a few dollars. That Mrs. Wages is a kind of pre-seasoned pickling thing that they have.
Oh, okay.
And the vinegar that I buy. So I thought I'd try that. Atwood's is redoing their floor plan. It's looking really snazzy in there.
Okay, I need to go.
Yeah, it's They've had the crew in that's redoing everything. They've put in new automatic doors, one way in, one way out. And they shut off those awkward side doors. They've opened it up in there. It looks. Remember how when Walmart had it, it was so big.
Yeah.
They've got it looking like that again.
Oh, okay.
It's going places. So I was excited for them. Being one of the few places that was open during that closed thing probably really paid off for them as far as like revenue. So I thought it's about time you guys get to, reinvest in yourselves there, and it's going to look great.
Book.
Now that I rambled that real quick, I totally forgot what else I was going to say.
Shoes? Was it about shoes?
I'm talking about shoes. I'm talking about the things. I completely forgot. Not important. I'll play back the video one of these days and remember. But anyways, canning. That's what I was going to mention.
Are you going to pressure can?
Yes. Yeah,
okay.
The green beans and all that stuff. I want to try those things that I normally don't do.
Yes.
So a lady named Vicky that we love, Vicky Haven, shout out to Vicky.
Hey, Vicky.
Taught us how to make soap.
She did. Saponification.
She was a great teacher, and I was a horrible student.
Same.
But way back when, she left her pressure cooker.
Oh.
I still have it in the bottom of my cabinet, and I didn't even realize it. And I'm going to give it back to her after I use it.
Yeah.
It was probably 7 years ago.
Yeah, it probably was. Yeah. I just remember saponification.
I'll keep that one. I'll buy her a new one of these days and just drop it off.
She probably has 12.
And I'm probably going to blow this one up anyway, trying to do it. So.
Be careful.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend in high school that opened a pressure cooker with food in it while it was cooking. It knocked her out. It hit her.
It can kill you.
It blew.
Burn your face.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I had a pressure cooker. I went outside. You don't leave pressure cookers unattended.
No, you can't. And they scare me the whole time.
Yes. I had to run outside and help Jeff with something. When I came back in, it had blown that thing off, stuck it in the ceiling, and then shot carrot out, only for so far, because the carrot did eventually wedge up in there. But it shot carrot out in this fine mist all over my kitchen.
Wedge carrot is what will make that like a bomb.
Yes.
And make it.
Yeah. I don't know what caused that to blow off. It had water and stuff in it.
I stay in the house, but a different room.
Yeah, I do too. Because you can hear it making that noise.
Yeah.
That was more like a water sprinkler.
Somebody told me, you should make beans in the pressure cooker. Nothing's faster or tastes better. I'm like, but is it worth my life?
Or the stress of that. Oh,
it's not worth my life.
That's why I have an Instapot. It is a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
But I feel like it has fail-safes on it.
Well, it's like digital program. It's all scientific. It's not just this.
Guessing.
Put this weight on this number.
But they're not wrong. Pressure cookered beans are really good.
Yeah.
But I can live. I know I can live longer without trying to make them.
I don't want to go out like that.
No.
Not unless I have to do it to take a few people with me, but I'm not going out like that on my own.
Maybe you should get your pressure cooker all pressured up and just set it on the corner. Might solve some problems you have around here.
Put on the side meth.
Free meth.
It's like those people that put cardboard boxes out just so the cats go and sit in them. All I would have to do is put pressure cookers all on my lawn. Yeah. Wait for that popping sound.
Just throw an empty box of pseudometaphone, or what is it called, just next to it.
Yeah.
That's like the worm on the lure, right?
That's great. Wow.
On the hook.
Whatever I was going to say completely escaped my mind. So now that I rambled through what I was actually going to talk about, I got nothing.
I just wanted to tell my shopping story today.
It was a good story.
I can say that I went to a concert this weekend.
Oh, that's right.
With people I didn't know. I went with my kid and my husband, but it was an open concert, and it was a band here from Chickasha called Anti-Mortem, and they sold out Friday night, and we wanted to go Friday, but it was graduation, so we couldn't. And then they did another show Saturday and had 2 other bands there, Voodoo Dolls and Akron. And they're heavy metal, lots of black shoes, black leather, long hair, head-banging music. And Antemortem did not disappoint. I was excited for them. They have 3 new members, the 2 brothers, Nevada and Romo. And so we took Turner and Jeff and we went up there, and in between sets got to talk to a lot of people. I introduced one guy to K-pop. So I'm excited to share the joy of K-pop to metalheads. And then got to talk to the brothers that are in Antemortem, so that was nice because I haven't talked to them in so long. But I'll tell you what was nice is to drive somewhere outside of Chickasha and go to a function like that, and not it be Lowe's or Home Depot or Target.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And get to hang out with
just
40
chill,
other people and
relax.
Yes.
Experience life. Feel like you're living.
So I can't wait till concerts start popping off again, because I think they're going to be packed and you're going to have to buy tickets quick. When in quilt shows, the first quilt guild that has a quilt show will make so much money. They just will. With the way people are coming to the quilt shop now because of the Road to Oklahoma Shop Hop. I could explain what a shop hop is.
Yeah, that'd be good.
The Road to Oklahoma Shop Hop, you can join. Their rules to be qualified as a shop that can be part of it, but you sign up to be in it and pay your fees and whatever. But there's shops all over Oklahoma, and they're broke down into 4 areas, regions. And if you complete one region, when you go, you get a passport, and it has all the shops on there, and then you get it stamped when you're there. And when you complete a region, you can turn in just your region if you want, and you could get a prize, enter for a prize, or you can complete all of them, and they give away like sewing machines, high dollar sewing machines, and great prizes. So that's the goal of you, is to win a prize.
And people don't just, go by themselves. They make, groups go together, like maybe even a church group in the church band, or like all kinds of
They'll
stuff.
Hit them all.
My Aunt Gail was telling me this weekend about the ones shops she went to, and she went with a couple friends of hers, and they had a really good time.
They really have fun doing that. And each shop has to make, they have fabrics printed just for this shop hop, and then you have to make a block that goes in a quilt, and you sell that. Each shop will have one of those. And then you make a project, and most shops make a quilt out of their block and those specific fabrics. And so you can buy the quilt kit or the block. And we also, at our shop, we give snacks and a free pattern for the block if you don't want to buy it. And we give away a fat quarter. And there's a sign up at our shop to win a quilt. And so you just going around, you get freebies, So a lot of women buy the quilt block, the block kit, which is just one block, and they'll buy one from every shop, and then they'll put all of them in and make one quilt out of everybody.
And some of those fabrics were made specifically for this event. There was only so much made, distributed among the people that were doing it, and once that fabric's gone, it's gone.
You can't get it again. So, it's really cool. A good way to get people in the shop. And this started June 1st, and so we were a little nervous. It's normally just 1 month, and this year they made it 2 months so that different counties, if they were kind of shut down or whatever. But people have hit the road, man, and I figure at some point it'll die down. I think at the end it'll pick back up because people will try to finish up their passport. But this is me stamping a passport.
I think the first wave moves through, right? Just to check it out. And then when word gets back to the other ladies that, hey, it was like it used to be.
It's safe.
It was like good. Then they all surge.
Yes.
And then the ones that were kind of riding the fence, like you said, will get in there at the last minute before it's all
I think you're
said
right.
and done.
So, and on top of that, just as far as quilt shop talk goes, everyone stayed at home quilted. And so we have been getting quilts on top of quilts on top of quilts. Huh? Yeah, even mine are actually in line. Normally, if we get ours done, they'll kind of slide them in here or there if they're not complicated, and mine's in line. Yeah. So, that's cool to see that out of all the businesses in town, the quilt shop didn't suffer. No. You know, and we had plenty to quilt on while we were closed. So
that's awesome.
I'm just like, wow. It's killer. Awesome. And it is so good to be back at work. I can't explain that. Yeah. So good to be back at work.
Absolutely. Just, I mean, staying at home is great, but living life is what we're here for.
Yes. And
work, I mean, is work, but it's also part of life structure.
It is. And
interaction, you know, feeling worthy and helping,
and I like my job. So, and seeing all the people that come in and hanging out with the ladies at the shop, and I really missed that. So
yes,
I'm happy to be back.
I'm glad you're back. I still haven't thought about what I was going to say.
Okay, I was hoping it would dawn on you.
No.
Well, I think that's all I got.
I got nothing either, so I'm going to reach for the button, but next week, if we do a podcast next Monday, we may have a special guest.
Oh, yeah?
Kimber.
Yay!
That's the week I watch her.
Oh, so, okay.
So, yeah, we could probably do it after Dean gets home. But
we can come up with some questions to ask her.
Yes.
And then she can ask us questions. And that can be the podcast.
That'll be good. And she's not camera shy like most of her generation, so no problem there.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah. Well, thanks you guys for joining us.
Yep. See you later.